Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. If you guys are on this video, you guys might be looking for a solution to one of the harder, if not the hardest stages outside of Soulcross in Central City. So I'm going to go over how I did it with what team and what kind of tips will work in this encounter. So stay tuned. All right, off we go into Central City here. We are on hard difficulty, and the stage I'm talking about is actually this stage, Bommal plus the Ice Golem, hard 10. So in the thing to realize about the Ice Golem hard difficulty version is that he doesn't get hurt by poisons, whereas the normal difficulty, you obviously want to bring poisons to take him down quicker. The reason why you use kind of this passive damage, poison and HP burns, because you don't want to trigger his big slam. When he big slams, then he's going to wipe your team, right? So you don't want to trigger that if you can help it. But he is not the problem in this pair. The problem is Bommal. Bommal, one of the hardest Doom Tower bosses there was or is currently, is still pretty difficult here, especially with a limited roster. So what you really need against this guy is block damage. Block damage will stop all the damage from all the bombs that come. The other way that actually works against him that no one really uses, because there's more effective ways of dealing with him, is actually freeze. So since we're outside of Soulcross, the damage incoming isn't as crazy, but it can still obviously wipe your team with suboptimal champs and so forth. So you still need to be a little bit careful. So what actually works against the bombs is using freeze. So you can freeze the little dread bombs, and then it would greatly reduce the damage of them when they blow up. So that's actually recommended here, to freeze them, and you can see that shields don't really help you sustain the damage from the bombs. So the bombs is what actually kills you, because the bosses don't hit you very hard. So moving down the help tip guide here, you can see the game's trying to help you out with some suggestions to beat Bommal. High res, decreased accuracy. His accuracy is really high, so he can place the bombs on your team. If you place debuffs on Bommal himself, he will plant some bombs, like dread bombs, down. So you don't want to do that. I believe you don't want to do anything with his turn meter as well, because if you have something that drops his turn meter, then he will place bombs as dread bombs as well. So that's something else to avoid. And then block damage, unkillable, or freeze would be the way you defeat Bommal. So this is the team I have going on right now. Replaceables, Candrafon doesn't need to be here, he's just here for damage. Wither is basically here just to provide some extra healing, and a cleanse for some of the debuffs. Like, he does debuff you, so she's good for the cleanse. Lanathro for some extra damage. He does bring a shield as well. But the star of the show is Shirmani, actually. Shirmani brings the freeze here. So she's actually really, really solid. She has the A1 chance to freeze, triple hit, chance to freeze here, really good. And then she has passive healing. She has healing effects as well, so you can top up your team if it's down low. And she has this move, 80% chance to freeze. I didn't book her out. 80% is a very good base rate of freeze. So she comes in here for this skill, basically. I do have her with Brimstone. Not necessary, but it does deal a little bit extra damage to take down the boss. And yeah, she is 3-star awakened. The other option for freeze from the roster I had is actually Glacea. Glacea is not as good as Shirmani because her base rate unbooked is actually not that great. It's only 60% chance to place the freeze debuff, so not as strong as Shirmani's. And then I didn't really want to put books into this investment, so I definitely didn't want to invest in Glacea with books. So Shirmani works super well, no masteries. Her gear I'll show at the end of the video, so let's jump right into it. All right, so here's the team. Let's do the run here real quick. So this boss combo is actually definitely quite difficult if you can't deal with the dread bombs properly. So We're just going to do some damage here. We want the HP burn applied. The HP burn actually deals quite a bit of damage, especially with the ads out here. So when the ads tick, both bosses take damage, which is actually really, really sweet. Something that you guys might not know, but if Harma kills a boss, she will use, with her A2, she actually uses her A3, which is actually kind of interesting. You just don't see that very often, but I thought that was kind of cool. So here comes the freeze, AoE freeze on the Dread Bomb. So now the Dread Bombs will deal reduced damage. Wither coming in with the increased defense just to protect against the AoE slashing. I'm going to HP burn the bosses here. The HP burn deals tons of damage to these guys, so we can just focus on surviving. Androphan's mainly here just to contribute a little bit of extra damage. He's not really here to do much else. Some debuffs, we're going to do a cleanse, do some healing. Could have saved it, I guess. We want to apply HP burn to all the ads so that the ads will start ticking away at the bosses. But what we want to avoid here is basically getting killed by the Dread Bombs. That's the first thing. And then having enough to tank some of the additional bomb damage that Bommal does apply to you. So I'll show you guys the stat requirement. Luckily, it's outside of Soulcross, so the gear requirement is not too insane. But just because the Dread Bombs deal so much damage, even outside of Soulcross, it can be a little bit tricky for sure. The other key member here must be Drexar. I think Drexar plus Shiramani and any combination of 3 should be able to defeat both these bosses. Drexar is just very solid. He soaks up damage really good. And yeah, he applies the HP burns kind of passively. There you go. So Bommal's down, and then the rest will come down to the Ice Golem. By himself, he's not going to die very fast, but as soon as he puts up the ads and we're able to apply HP burn to them, he will start taking down. The problem is, at this stage, I think I deal too much damage to the ads, so they die too quickly, so they don't have a chance to actually stay alive and tick. So. Alright, so we're going to slowly whittle them down here. Yeah, you see that even my Lanathro was able to one-shot his ads at half health. So would be definitely, maybe it's faster if I didn't have the damage dealers like Kandrifon or Lanathro, but they're here just to make sure that we're able to beat this stage successfully. So got Shiramani here. She's going to be less effective here now. It's going to be all HP burners and then the other damage that we're dealing. So you see the big slam here, boom. Not going to be very big. Kandrifon able to one-shot. More slams. And we're just tanking it now. We got the... we're probably a little bit over-geared here against this Ice Golem. And then we also have shields. Alright, so one more tick and then he's down. Okay, and there he goes. Kandrifon with the kill. So, yeah, so I mean... killing these bosses is a must because of this gear, right? This merciless gear. Specifically this merciless gear. Supersonic, honestly, I can't really think of a champion that would be like super critical to have in it. But the merciless gear definitely is very, very important. So trying to defeat these double bosses is very important. And yeah, I think I do go over the gear here for each champion. The damage is mostly kind of spread out a little bit here. Jump into it. So here's my Shiramani. She is in regeneration. I think against Bommal, you probably need some way to passively heal, or you need really strong healers on your team. So in this comp, I do have Wither, which gives me healing, and I do have regeneration gear as well. You want, I believe the accuracy check is low 200s. Let me bring up the stats here. All right, so here's the stats. So you're looking at about 230 for accuracy. If you want to play the resistance game, you're looking at about low 300s. All right, so depending which is easier for you to gear, I mean, you can gear full resistance if you want. So resistance would help you prevent getting the bomb debuff applied to your team. And yeah, the other way is to, instead of outgearing them, use freeze, which reduces damage from the dread bomb, which this team is about. So you can see here, I've definitely outgeared the content for sure. Regen, no masteries needed. No books needed. 80% chance to freeze is good enough for me. She also has an A1 that can freeze as well. Candrafon here in kind of generic arena build, just for some extra damage. He does double hit Bommal after he places the attack up on himself. Wither with regeneration as well. She has resistance, and then she can place her heals and cleansing defense up. Drexar is in a super old build, lifesteal, has some resistance, some accuracy, some speed. And he's basically here to get hit and apply his HP burn. He does have Giant Slayer. And Lanathro is just fast. He's built for to do some damage with 100% crit rate, some damage stats. But this is just my Fire Knight Lanathro. But yeah, so basically this is the team that I used to defeat this boss. It was actually super easy, especially with when I incorporated the freeze from Shiramani. Without the freeze from Shiramani, it was actually I was not able to tank through the damage. So if you don't have Shiramani, the other viable option is Glacea, 60% AoE freeze. And out of curiosity, we can have a quick look here at what else is possible for us. So freeze, we're looking for freeze. Yeah, Achak, actually a very good shout here. Achak actually will work. I think he will work. He might be pretty MVP here if it works. 70% chance to place freeze. Attack is higher than the defense. I don't know if this applies for Bommal. I don't know. 70% HP burn if defense. Okay. HP burn. Under freeze, heals, turn meters. I'm not 100% sure if the dread bombs will have higher or lower attack. For example, here, Bommal has higher attack, higher attack, higher attack, higher attack. So the ads for Ice Golem will be frozen, but the dread bombs, I'm not too sure. If the dread bombs are not, then this is not going to work. But Achak is a very good shout, especially for an epic. So definitely look into that if you guys have them. Like I said, for me, what worked was Shiramani. And yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Hopefully, give you guys some hints and pointers on how to defeat this boss. Like I said, it's one of the harder stages outside of Soulcross, and it's gating you from the super strong merciless gear that we all want more of. But we don't want to spend millions and millions of silver regearing our guys to have a chance of completing some level, which is going to probably need to be addressed at some point by Plarium, but that's for another video. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.